my guy. Alright, so someone asked if I could talk about the actual calendar and the real new year. So first I'm going to start off by telling y'all that there are actually 13 months. And if you pay attention, all of it makes sense. Remember how I told y'all that us and nature are connected? We're all connected. This is what I mean by that. So actually listen to what I'm about to say. The moon cycles every 28 days. And if you pay attention, when a woman is pregnant, they only count her pregnancy every 28 days. And they count by 4 weeks. 4 weeks in this month, 4 weeks in that month. And that's why when you count the weeks, it go by 7, 14, 21, 28. And the reason why I say we actually have 13 months is because if we have 13 months instead of 12, each month will have 28 days. So not only do the moon have a 28-day cycle, but don't us women have a 28-day cycle when it comes to our period? Not only that, God calls the moon a her. So the moon itself is represented as a female. So you got the women's menstrual cycle that's every 28 days, just like the moon cycle is every 28 days. So the moon is represented as a she, and it has a 28-day cycle, just like us, females, we have a 28-day cycle. Keep up, I'm trying to show you how we connected to nature. The only month that's actually truthful that we go by is February. That's the only month that actually has 28 days. All those other months, if all those months go to 28 days instead, it will make an extra month that will also have 28 days. So we will have 13 months that all have 28 days, which is actually for the missing month that we are supposed to have. April 1st, which is April Fools, is symbolic to them fooling you into thinking that January 1st is the actual new year. But like I told y'all, we are connected to nature. Nature shows us that the real new year is in spring. Nature shows us that the real new year is when the earth starts to come alive again. The trees, the grass, and the flowers begin to blossom and grow back. Our energy is connected to nature. Our energy actually begins to shift with nature. The new year is actually based off the seasons. And spring is the new season. January is not the new year. This is all some fake stuff that's going on, and they got y'all programmed. Like for real, how could January be the new year and it ain't representing no change? No new life, no growth. We are connected to nature. No matter what y'all try to lie about, what lies they put into y'all, or what y'all don't want to believe in, no matter what you want to believe in, we connected to nature regardless of what y'all say. God created us, God created nature. We are supposed to align with each other. 13 months instead of 12 will be exactly 28 days in each month. The first will always be a Monday, and the 28th will always be a Sunday. Every month will have exactly 4 weeks, and we will properly align ourselves with the moon cycle. Moon cycle, 28 days. Menstrual cycle, 28 days. Days of the month, 28 days. September came from an old Roman word called septem, meaning 7, which was originally the 7th month. October came from the Latin and Greek word oct, meaning 8, which was originally the 8th month. November came from the Latin word novem, meaning 9, which was originally the 9th month. December came from the Latin word decem, meaning 10, which was originally the 10th month. So September is actually the 7th month. October is actually the 8th month. Why do you think they call it an octopus an octopus? Oct stands for 8. An octopus has 8 tentacles. They call it an octopus for a reason, because it stands for 8 at the beginning. November is really the 9th month, and December is actually the 10th month. So for us to call September the 9th month, October the 10th month, and so on, that's a bold-faced lie. because it's not true. What I'm trying to tell y'all is at the end of the day, nature tells us the real time. And God made us the way we are and made nature the way it is for a reason. And we supposed to properly align with nature. Y'all have to realize we didn't have clocks and stuff back then. We followed nature. Nature told us the time. And until this day, nature tells us the time. God made us the way we are for a reason, the same way he made nature the way it is for a reason. So like I always said, Romans 3 and 4, let God be the truth and every man a liar.
If you want to know the truth about the 13-month calendar, watch this video.
According to the Akashic Records, what is the 13-month lunar calendar and why did it get replaced by the Gregorian calendar? Can you please give us a breakdown?
According to the Akashic Records, the 13-month lunar calendar is an ancient, spiritually aligned timekeeping system based on the natural rhythms of the moon and earth. This calendar reflects the cycles of the divine feminine, the flow of nature, and the harmonic structure of time as it was originally designed on Earth and in other star-seeded civilizations with the 13-month lunar calendar. The 13-month calendar consists of 13 months of 28 days each, 264 days, with 1 day out of time that is considered a sacred reset or portal day. Each month aligns with 1 full lunar cycle. Because the moon governs tides, fertility, and intuitive states, this calendar allows humans to live in resonance with their biological, emotional, and spiritual rhythms. In many indigenous and advanced ancient societies, such as the Mayans, Egyptians, and certain African tribes, this calendar was seen as sacred. Women's menstrual cycles, crop growth, and ceremonial initiations were all aligned with the lunar flow, creating harmony between Earth and cosmic energies. Why was it replaced by the Gregorian calendar? According to the Akashic Records, the shift to the Gregorian calendar was part of a larger agenda to dismantle humanity's connection to natural time and spiritual cycles. Here's why. 1, disconnection from nature. The solar-based Gregorian calendar fragments time into months of inconsistent length, disrupting the natural harmony between celestial movements and human biology. This was intentional. It made people less attuned to their inner knowing, natural instincts, and earth-based wisdom. Suppression of the divine feminine 13 is the number of the goddess, and lunar cycles represent feminine power, regeneration, and creation. By replacing the 13-month system with a 12-month solar calendar, the divine feminine principle was energetically suppressed. This disempowered not just women, but intuition, flow, and spiritual sovereignty in all people through control of human consciousness. The Gregorian calendar was instituted by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582 and adopted over time by many countries. Its purpose wasn't just accuracy. It served to synchronize society with religious, political, and economic structures that thrived on linear time, productivity, and hierarchy, not cyclical wisdom. Time became a tool of control, not communion. Why this matters now, many souls on Earth are reawakening to the sacredness of time and feeling disoriented in the Gregorian system. This is because your Akashic memory remembers the original template where time was felt, not forced. Returning to lunar or 13 moon time rebalances masculine and feminine energy within the self, strengthens intuition and dream recall, helps regulate the nervous system and biological cycles, reconnects humanity with planetary and cosmic rhythms.
Now you have the information, and what will you do? Will you procrastinate or will you use it to your advantage? The choice is yours. Let's get it. Peace.
Hey man, Happy New Year. Bro, New Year's was months ago. That's what they want you to think. What do you mean? The real New Year starts in the spring when everything wakes up. At least that's how it's always been until the Gregorian calendar messed everything up. So how did the Gregorian calendar mess things up? Pope Gregory introduced the Gregorian calendar not to keep time, but to remind folks when to pay taxes. That's why it's called calendar, because in ancient Rome, calends was the day that debts were recorded. Wait a minute. You're saying the calendar was built for taxes? Exactly. And the whole system got thrown off earlier when Julius Caesar and Augustus decided they wanted their own months. That's how we got July and August. Well, why is February so short? because Augustus wanted his month to be just as long as Julius's. So he stole a date from February. So they reshuffled time to feed their egos. Here I thought they made February short because they were just racist towards Black History Month. But this makes more sense. And that's not even the craziest part. Have you ever noticed the months don't even truly line up to their names? Think about it. September, Septem, 7, but it's the 9th month. October, Octo, 8, but it's the 10th month. November means 9, but it's the 11th month. December, Deca, 10, but it's the 12th month. So they really out here just messing things up. If the calendar was actually accurate, we would have 13 months, not 12. But why 13? Because it follows the natural cycles of the moon's 28 days, which also corresponds to women's menstrual cycles. You see, ancient cultures had it right. They based their calendar based off the moon and the cosmos, not taxes. So every month would be 28 days. Exactly. And the first day of every month would always land on the same day of the week. So we're really just out here living in a system designed to confuse us. And now you see why they call it April Fool's Day.
So Ethiopia is just casually 8 years behind everybody else? But they use a whole different calendar in Ethiopia, which makes me wonder, is their calendar right? Is that the calendar that everybody should be using? Their calendar has 13 months, not 12, and their New Year's is in September. Something ain't right. Somebody gotta tell me something. Hell nah, something ain't right. Nope.
Did you know that April Fool's is actually our real New Year? In case you're new here, there are actually 13 months in a year, with each month consisting of 28 days. The calendar we use today has, for some reason, been altered to create these uneven months.
Yes, they
and
have.
has completely thrown us out of rhythm. Before our new calendar, we would follow the 28-day moon cycle.
Yes.
Just think about it. It makes perfect sense. If every month had 28 days, the month would always start on a Monday and end on a Sunday.
Yes.
You can't tell me that doesn't make more sense than it beginning and ending on a random day. Even when we look at the meanings of the names of each month, they tell us how wrong the current calendar is. April 1st, or April Fool's, is actually symbolic to us being fooled into thinking that January 1st is really the new year.
Yes.
We are connected to nature in more ways than you can believe. And when we follow nature, it shows us that the real new year is in spring.
Yes.
What's significant about spring? Well, it's when the earth comes alive again. The flowers, the trees, and even the grass begin to blossom and grow back. It's a sign of a reset. So why have we been told otherwise? Well, that's for you to decipher.
It is not 2026 everywhere in the world. In Ethiopia, it's 2018, and here's why. You see the difference between the Ethiopian calendar and the Gregorian calendar, which we use, comes down to a disagreement between the Roman Catholic Church and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church about the announcement of the birth of Jesus Christ. Before the 6th century, most of the Christian world used the Julian calendar. But when the West switched over, Ethiopia just never changed their calculations. So Ethiopian calendar is now 7 to 8 years behind the Western calendar. The Ethiopian calendar has 13 months, 12 months with 30 days, and 1 month with 5 days. And so it's not even 2019 in Ethiopia until September. Make sure to share this video and follow for more of this.
Well, we have 3 types of calendars. We have the solar calendar, which is 365 and some change, 365 and a quarter days, technically, a year for the Gregorian calendar. The lunar calendar, which goes based on the lunations or the cycles of the moon throughout the year, the 12 cycles, it has a strict 29 and some change amount of days in a month, which gives us around about 30 days a month, which makes sense because there are 48 weeks in a year like we were told, and yet our calendars run by 52 weeks every year. That's a 4-week difference. That's a month. That's a whole month. The only calendar with 13 months, technically, is the Ethiopian calendar. And that month is known as Pagume. Pagume means days forgotten when a year is calculated. Days forgotten when a year is calculated. What does that mean? And why does that feel so significant right now? Because time, we just realized daylight savings time isn't real. I mean, people are still going by different calendars across the world. Everyone's going by the luni solar calendar, which was created by the Roman Catholic Empire. But we used to go by the lunar calendar because the moon was moving in tandem with the earth. And we were able to track it, like, accurately.
Ethiopia is in 2017 right now, and no, that's not a mistake. While most of us say it's 2025, Ethiopians are living in a completely different year, and they've got their own reasons for it. They follow their own calendar, not the Western one, and they never changed it because they didn't need to. The Ethiopian calendar is based on an ancient version of the Coptic calendar, and it calculates the birth of Jesus 7 to 8 years later than the Gregorian one. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Their year has 13 months, not 12. 12 months of 30 days and a short month called Pagume. Please excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Pagume has just 5 or 6 days depending on leap year. So why didn't Ethiopia just adopt the Gregorian calendar like everyone else? Because Ethiopia was never colonized. There was no empire forcing them to change time itself. So think about that. What if time, the year we're told it is, isn't neutral at all? What if it's a tool of empire? Ethiopia shows us that time isn't universal, it's historical, it's political, it's spiritual. And it's one of the few African nations that said, no, we'll keep our own time. So yes, they're in 2017, but maybe they're not behind. Maybe they're just not following the clock set by colonizers. Have you heard this before? Would you live by a different calendar if you had the choice? This is the Africa you're not shown. I'm here to show you.
We've all been lied to, and they're rubbing it in our face. There used to be 13 months, but they erased it, leaving us with a false historical timeline. Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar, but this calendar doesn't make much sense. It was primarily designed to help people to remember to pay their taxes. The word calendar actually comes from kalends, an ancient word meaning account book. The months in our current calendar are a complete mess. March is named after Mars, the god of war. July and August are named after Julius and Augustus Caesar, who decided they should each have a month named after them. But this is where it gets scary. The order of the months doesn't make any sense either. Septem means 7, but is the 9th month. Octo means 8, but is the 10th month. Novem means 9, but is the 11th month, and Decem means 10, but is the 12th month. The 13-month calendar used by many ancient cultures follows the natural cycles of the moon. It has 13 months each with 28 days, and if you multiply 13 by 28, you get 364 days, perfectly matching the moon's orbit. What else lasts 28 days? Women's menstrual cycles. They built this calendar for control, to misalign us with the universe. Not only are you paid for only 12 months when there should be 13, but to rub it in our faces if the 13th month calendar still existed, the 28th of March would be the final day of the year. So what would be the original New Year's Day? Leave the answer in the comments.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you are doing great wherever you are watching us from. So apparently the calendar we have followed our whole life might not even be the original one. A lot of people online are now saying the 12 months Georgian calendar was created more for control, taxes and productivity than for actual keeping human beings connected to nature. And once you hear some of the arguments, it really makes you think, why do September, October, November and December literally means 7, 8, 9 and 10? Why does moon move in a 28-day cycle? Why do women naturally have a similar cycle too? And why does modern life always feel rushed, stressed and disconnected? Now, people are revisiting ancient African, Egyptians and Eastern systems that use a 13-month calendar with 28 days each, saying humans once lived more in sync with nature before everything changed. One thing that immediately grabs people is how simple the 13-month system sounds. Every month would have exactly 28 days, no random 30 days here and 31 days there, and February acting different for absolutely no reason. Everything will line up perfectly. People online say that system matched the moon system, nature, farming season, and even human biology better than the modern calendar does. And honestly, when you think about it, January being called the new year does feel like kind of weird. Nothing outside is really new in January. Spring feels more like a real new beginning, new plants, new energy, new life. That's why some people believed April was originally treated as the real new year before later system changed it. Historically, Roman rulers and later Pope Gregory did reform the calendar system. Historians say it was mainly to fix the seasonal timing issue, but unlike commentators believe, it became a system tied to power, money, labor, and control. Even the word calendar comes from a Roman term linked to debt and accounting, and that's where the bigger conversation starts. A lot of people, especially black creators online, feel colonization disconnected people from older African knowledge, natural living, and spiritual balance, because modern life honestly feels exhausting sometimes. Everybody is rushing, everybody is stressed, everybody living by schedule that don't even feel like human anymore. So when people hear about a system supposedly built around balance and nature instead of non-stop productivity, it connects with them emotionally, even if you don't fully agree with every claim. But what do you think? Do you feel humanity was more connected to nature before modern system took over? Or do you think the internet is reaching a little too hard with these theories? Anyway guys, what do you think about this video? Drop your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share the video to help the channel out. See you in my next video. For now,